And now call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Natrona County Board of County Commissioners for Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 to order. We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hendry.
Here.
Commissioner Kaufman.
Here.
Commissioner Milne. Commissioner North. Commissioner North.
Here.
Chairman Bertolio.
Here. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, do we need to remove the grooming contract?
It has already been
Okay,
removed.
okay.
So, is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Kaufman, Commissioner Hendry, second by Commissioner Kaufman to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion on any item on there? I note that there's a grant going for our trail kiosks. Would you care to comment on that, Commissioner Kaufman?
Yeah, so the county actually has retained sustainable strategies. I think we're in year 3 of that contract, and one of the grants that came up is at the out of the State Water and Land Conservation Fund, and one of the things that we would like to apply for from the commission or the county perspective is wayfinding signage. So, as many of you know, we've been working with RDG, the consultant, to get signage created outside of the MPO, and then obviously funding would be the next step of that. So the grant application is for $230,000. That's what we're applying for. This resolution guarantees a dollar-for-dollar match from the county should we be a successful grant recipient. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Any other comments on any other item? All right, there being none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposed,
There's a lag.
There's a little lag there, Jim. Sorry about that. Thank you. We have 3 contracts, agreements, and resolutions tonight. The first one is a grant agreement between YDOT and the Natrona County regarding air service enhancement program through SkyWest, operated as Delta. And a second one, transportation service agreement between the Natrona County and SkyWest Airlines flight, which is also known as the minimum revenue guarantee. We will take each one of these individually, but I think it would be easier for Mr. Nelson to walk us through the contract as they are symbiotic, I guess is the right word. So, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you have, as you mentioned, 2 contracts, one with State Aeronautics and one with SkyWest. The proposed contract with SkyWest would be for the minimum revenue guarantee for the daily flight to Salt Lake City for a 6-month term beginning November 1st. The agreement with State Aeronautics would be for the 40% match, which State Aeronautics has approved. They're both pretty straightforward contracts. Both are at this point proposed. They sent drafts to me. I made some changes. Most notably in the SkyWest agreement, I added some additional language to make sure that the reporting requirements with SkyWest and the state were the same. I didn't want the state to require more documentation from the county than SkyWest was required to provide. So I did make that change and added the governmental immunity language. But otherwise, it is pretty straightforward. In terms of how things are computed, it's laid out. I did ask, I can't tell if Mr. Januska is present, but I did speak with him earlier in the week, and he would be prepared to answer any questions about how that's handled. And lastly, I would recommend that if there's a motion to approve either or both, that it also have the caveat that to authorize me to make any non-substantive changes. I just, if it comes back from the state or from SkyWest with some minor legal language changes, that would expedite things so we wouldn't have to bring it back to a commission meeting. And with that, I would be available for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Nelson? Right, thank you.
You want to take them individually, A and B, or?
Is there any questions for Mr. Januska at this point? Anybody have any questions? Okay, great. At this point, then, I would entertain a motion to approve the grant agreement between YDOT and the Natrona County Board of County Commissioners regarding participation in the Air Service Enhancement Program through SkyWest operated as Delta Connection, with the ability for the county, granting the county attorney the ability to negotiate non-substantive changes to the agreements as the agreement as it is presented.
Mr. Chairman, so moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Kaufman, second by Commissioner Hendry. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the transportation services agreement between the Natrona County, the Natrona County Board of County Commissioners and SkyWest Airlines flights in the Casper Salt Lake market, also known as the minimum revenue guarantee, and also grant the county attorney the ability to make non-substantive changes to the agreement as it is presented.
I would so move, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Hendry, seconded by Commissioner Kaufman to approve the motion. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our final agreement on the agenda tonight is a grooming agreement between Natrona County and the Casper Biathlon Club. At this point, additional information has come to light, and we don't have the answers for those. So at this point, I would ask for a motion to table the approval of the agreement until December 7th.
So move.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Commissioner Hendry, second by Commissioner North to table the approval of the grooming agreement between Natrona County and the Casper Biathlon Club to December 7th. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. At this point, we are at public comments. Any in the audience wishing to address the commission tonight? Nobody wants to talk tonight. All right, commissioners' comments. Commissioner North.
Couple of things. I'm sure that most of you have already heard that they're going to be putting the new nuclear reactor in Kimmer instead of Glen Rock. I'm happy they're moving forward. I would have preferred that they move forward a little closer to home, but they say the second one will go in faster than the first one, so we'll let go with that and move forward.
Thank you. Commissioner Kaufman?
I'll make it quick. So this week we are serving as the Board of Equalization, so people that are, I guess, disputing their property tax. So we've had the opportunity to see taxpayers face to face, and I think what I appreciate most about this week is if you have a complaint or you don't agree, there's a process that you can certainly follow, and we listen. So that's what I would have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Commissioner Hendry?
I don't have much. I'm glad that Commissioner North talked about the Dave Johnson deal. They're still talking about maybe some sequestration down there at Dave Johnson, but we'll see how that works. The other thing is, in talking to Road and Bridge today, found out that the only bid they got on that road out at Alcova was about 2 million over the estimates. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with that. And it was all because of the vaccine mandates. They couldn't get anybody locally to bid on it in Wyoming. I think that the company is up in Montana, and 2 million over the estimates may be, that's a lot. And in a $7 million project. So we need to look into that, whether we want to go ahead with that, because a share of it is ours. So not all Fed money. And that was really all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Milne?
No, I'm just happy technology works so I can participate and hear what Eric had to advise us on that contract. So that's it. Have a good night, guys.
All right, thank you. I have just one thing. There was a letter to the editor, if you want to call it that. I'm not exactly sure how it works on the Oil City News, pretty much accusing us of dereliction for allowing the water line that goes to Midwest and Edgerton to fail, and that it was our obligation. First off, it is not our obligation. We do not own that line. The county cannot own water lines nor sewer lines. We are prohibited by state statutes from participating in or owning any utilities. The second thing is we will work and provide what assistance we can to Salt Creek to ensure that line goes in. Whether that be helping them financially, which will take some looking into, but there's also our ability to help them potentially get some additional grants. But we are not negligent in this. This is not our responsibility, has never been our responsibility, and to suggest that we have failed to recognize and not take any action is completely false. So with that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn, or I can just adjourn us. What would you like?